The EU's operation to tackle piracy in the waters around Somalia has been extended for another 2 years. Operation Atalanta will continue until at least 2014, and naval ships will be authorised to fire on pirate targets on land. But merchant ships still rely heavily on private security guards, many of whom used to be in the British military. Our reporter Charlotte Cross was given access to a counter-piracy course run by a private security firm in Malta.
Off the coast of Malta, a group of former British servicemen get up close to a commercial oil tanker. They're on a counter-piracy training course, which will qualify them to work as armed guards on board merchant vessels, deterring pirate attacks as they transit through some of the most dangerous waters in the world. They could be on board in teams as small as 3, combating pirates heavily armed with automatic weapons and RPGs.
This close to the ship, you get a real sense of the scale of how difficult it must be to defend, especially when you consider just a handful of pirates with weapons are capable of hijacking it, and they're highly motivated because a ship like this is worth $3 to $5 million in ransom money.
It's quite daunting when you think about it like that, but because you've got the elevation, the elevation side and defensive, and the way we're trained as well, in a defensive layered system as well, you're probably at an advantage more as well. The pirates are at a disadvantage. The only advantage that they have is probably that they don't have any rules of engagement where we do.
30,000 merchant vessels like these transit pirate-infested waters every year, and a quarter of those now have private security on board. It's the best deterrent against an attack.
It's all intelligence driven, so whatever area you're in will determine what sort of drills and skills you're going to carry out. But whilst the security team is on board that vessel, it's on that bridge 24 hours a day. So nobody's in danger of any piracy attack or boarding the vessel because of what we will do prior to them trying to board the vessel.
Piracy on the high seas is becoming an increasingly serious problem. Right now, 13 vessels and nearly 200 hostages are being held by pirates. The waters off Somalia and the Gulf of Aden are where ships and tankers face the greatest threat. The official high-risk area now covers more than 1 million square miles, stretching down the coast of Africa and as far east as the Maldives. EU Navy warships patrol a safe route along the narrow Gulf of Aden, and between 5 and 10 warships operate off the Somali coast to intercept pirate raids. There have already been 7 hijackings so far this year.
There is an apprehension there. If you've been in the army for quite a while, or any military service, whether it be the Marines or the Navy or whatever, then you've got that already behind you. And so if you can put that experience you've used in other operational theatres and just change it to seagoing or maritime, then I think you're on a winner straight away, and you always have the upper hand against the pirates.
Here the students are learning how to use razor wire to stop pirates boarding a ship. Training courses teach best practice, which the major shipping companies have signed up to.
People put security teams on boats to guard them. As the pirate attacks have increased, they've had to look at it more. I think it was sort of a stopgap maybe in their minds in the beginning, but then they realised, hey, this is a long-term thing and we're going to need proper legislation along the way. So all the time things are getting stricter and stricter about the teams that go on the boat and how they act and what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do.
For some going through the training, there's a more glamorous alternative to providing security on oil tankers or container ships. They could end up working on a super yacht.
It is very glamorous, but only for the people who own the yachts. We have a professional role to play, and we tend to remain in the shadows, as it were.
Many of these students won't find work in the industry, which is saturated with service leavers. Those that do can earn upwards of £7,000 a month.
It's not so much the money, no, it's a different environment, different challenge. Like I said before, 23 years in the infantry can get a little bit monotonous, so you're moving on to a different adventure, trying something new, it's quite exciting.
A new mandate means EU Navy ships patrolling off Somalia will be able to take more robust action, striking inland targets such as fuel depots, boats, trucks or other equipment used by pirates. It's a significant expansion of the rules of engagement, but more successfully combating piracy means careers in maritime security could be short-lived. Charlotte Cross, Forces News, Malta.